They came through our airports carrying death in their luggage. Two Chinese nationals just got caught red-handed smuggling a weapon designed to starve America into submission. This is not some spy movie plot. It's happening right now, and it's happening in Michigan. And the fungus that they brought can destroy wheat, poison our corn, and cause liver failure in humans. But here's what should terrify you the most. One of them is a confirmed Communist Party loyalist funded by Beijing, and she was working inside an American university lab. Okay? Think about that for a second. Donald Trump is going after Harvard because of their alignment with China. And we're seeing something even worse in Michigan. Now, the FBI calls it agro-terrorism. China, they just call it Tuesday. Now, what you're about to see proves the next war won't be fought with missiles. It'll be fought right at your dinner table. So stay with me. And when enemies target our food supply, protecting your health becomes critical.
Two Chinese nationals are.
That's why collagen supplementation matters now more than ever. By age 40, your body's collagen production drops significantly, weakening your immune defenses and cellular integrity. Ageless multi-collagen delivers 5 essential collagen types from 4 premium sources, fortifying your body's natural barriers against toxins and pathogens. While foreign threats target our agriculture, you can strengthen your body's resilience. This isn't just about looking younger, it's about building robust health when our food security faces unprecedented attacks. Visit healthwithgary.com for 51% off and arm your body with the protection that it needs. Now, the Chinese Communist Party just got caught executing a biological attack on American soil. ABC News barely touched the story, giving it less than a minute of coverage. Watch how they downplay what experts call a potential weapon of mass destruction targeting our food supply. Watch.
Two Chinese nationals are accused of smuggling a dangerous fungus into the U.S. that experts say could be a potential terror weapon targeting agriculture. This is a microscopic view of that fungus known to cause billions of dollars in damage to crops, including wheat, barley, and rice worldwide every year. If consumed by humans, it can cause liver damage and birth defects. One of the suspects allegedly caught with the fungus hidden in his luggage at the Detroit airport. The DOJ claims he lied, saying that he was just there to visit his girlfriend, a Chinese visiting research fellow at the University of Michigan, but later confessed to having it. We'll stay on this.
Potential terror weapon. That's how ABC buried the lead on China trying to starve your family. Now, the fungus doesn't just damage crops, it produces toxins that cause liver failure and birth defects in humans. Good Morning America gave it slightly more coverage, but watch how they frame this as just another customs violation instead of the act of war that it really is. Now pay attention how they casually mention the suspect lied to federal agents. Watch.
Michael, good morning. We're talking about a fungus which DOJ is calling a potential bioterror threat. Take a look at it under the microscope. This is Fusarium graminearum, and it causes billions of dollars in crop damage each year. A pathogen that rots wheat, barley, and rice, and if consumed by humans can cause vomiting, liver damage, and birth defects. This morning, 2 researchers from China are accused of trying to smuggle it into the U.S. to take it to a lab at the University of Michigan. Authorities claim that in July of last year, they allegedly caught a scientist from China with the fungus hidden in a wad of tissues in his backpack at the Detroit airport. Authorities say the scientist initially lied, claiming he was coming to America to visit his girlfriend and that he had no idea how the material got into his luggage. But later he allegedly admitted he smuggled the fungus into the U.S. to conduct research on it with his girlfriend, who was a visiting fellow at the University of Michigan, Michael.
Well, Pierre, had the University of Michigan responded to any of this?
Well, they're telling us that they're cooperating with the investigation and they condemned any activity that could harm the public or damage national security, Michael.
All right, Pierre, as always, thank you.
So he claimed he was visiting his girlfriend, but he was actually smuggling biological weapons. His girlfriend, a Chinese national embedded at the University of Michigan, funded by Beijing to conduct research on American soil. CNN actually used the phrase agro-terrorism weapon, but then immediately softened their coverage. FBI Director Kash Patel had to spell out what their reporters wouldn't. This is the CCP targeting our food supply. Now watch this watered-down coverage that still can't hide the terrifying truth. Watch.
Breaking overnight, 2 Chinese researchers have been charged with smuggling a biological pathogen into the United States that they planned to study at the University of Michigan. According to the complaint filed yesterday, the 2 brought a fungus described as a, quote, potential agro-terrorism weapon that can cause disease in plants like corn, rice, and barley. According to the FBI, the pathogen is responsible for billions of dollars in economic damage worldwide every year. FBI Director Kash Patel said in a post on X that the case is a sobering reminder that the CCP, which is the Chinese Communist Party, is working around the clock to deploy operatives and researchers to infiltrate American institutions and target our food supply, which would have grave consequences. The affidavit doesn't specify what their intentions were in studying the fungus. The University of Michigan said in a statement Tuesday they strongly condemn any actions that seek to cause harm, threaten national security, or undermine the university's critical public mission. John?
The FBI director himself confirmed the Chinese Communist Party is working around the clock to infiltrate our institutions. This isn't paranoia, it's documented biological warfare. Former NFL quarterback Will Cain connected the dots mainstream media won't touch, from agro-terrorism to farmland purchases near military bases to visa overstays. China's conducting a multi-front invasion. Here's Cain laying out the terrifying big picture. Watch.
Agro-terrorism, that's not a term that you hear every day. You've probably heard of biological warfare. You've probably read, seen movies, or heard accusations about nation states attacking other countries' ability to grow their own food. Agroterrorism refers to the deliberate use of an animal or plant disease to damage a country's food production or their supply. Now, all new this hour, the Justice Department announcing charges against 2 Chinese nationals for allegedly smuggling a dangerous biological pathogen into the U.S. According to the DOJ, the trafficked fungus in question has been described as a potential agro-terrorism weapon, which it says the 2 suspects intended to use at the University of Michigan laboratory to further their scheme. That sounds like something out of HBO's The Last of Us, but this is how this fungus is described. It causes head blight, a disease of wheat, barley, maize, and rice, and is responsible for billions of dollars in economic losses worldwide each year. Toxins, though, don't just affect plants. They cause vomiting, liver damage, and reproductive defects in humans and livestock. What a wild story. Again, something right out of fiction, something right out of The Last of Us. But maybe we shouldn't be surprised. The DOJ says one of those Chinese nationals is a loyal member of the CCP. And we know the Communist Party is interested in getting inside our country. Take a look at this map. It shows how much farmland, you've probably heard something about this, but I don't know if you've ever seen it visualized, how much farmland has been bought in the United States and conveniently located around U.S. military installations. It's a fascinating and stark image of a potential threat to this country. All of this, of course, follows Sunday's terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, which was already sparking fears of terror here at home.
It's coming. 2 million people paid more to get away. They didn't want to be vetted. They didn't want to be fingerprinted. Why? This scares the hell out of me. I've been doing this for 40 years. It should have scared the hell out of every American what the Biden administration did. This 2 million known gotaways scares the hell out of me. So I'm convinced something's coming unless we can find them.
But it's not just the gotaways. Through the numbers, we see that also we should be worried about visa overstays. This is the number of people who have overstayed their visa, effective illegal immigrants who came into the country legally. It's between 650,000 and 850,000 annually from 2016 through 2022. In 2017, 5 million people, about 42% of illegal immigrants living in the United States, entered legally but overstayed their visa. And just as a reminder, at least 3 of the 19 hijackers on September 11th, 2001 were visa overstays. Now, here's how it shakes out per country. We can tie these 2 stories together. When I first saw this chart, the first thing that stuck out to me is the number of Venezuelan visa overstays. That's a shocking number that we see playing out, not just criminally, but across our country when it comes to the workforce, in our cities, in our towns. A stunning number coming from Venezuela. But look down that chart. Look at number 4. Just shy of 32,000 Chinese visa overstays in this country illegally. You can see the other countries there as well. Now, we face a threat of terrorism on all fronts, and we don't want to be alarmist here. But it, I think, requires us to stick our head in the sand to not see how all of these things are tied together as potential vulnerabilities, from agro-terrorism to visa overstays. What is the threat level here at home, domestically in the United States?
32,000 Chinese visa overstays currently in America. Remember, the 9/11 hijackers were also visa overstays too. Now add biological weapons into the mix. Fox News revealed the most chilling detail. One suspect is a confirmed loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party receiving government funding. This isn't some rogue operation. This is state-sponsored biological warfare. Now listen how they describe the gravity of this threat. Watch.
Two Chinese nationals have been charged with smuggling a dangerous biological pathogen into the United States. And this pathogen is considered a serious threat to our food supply and thus our national security. Fox's David Spunt is here with all the details. David, this is terrifying.
Laura, it really is quite an interesting story. According to the Justice Department, one of them worked at a laboratory connected to the University of Michigan. The FBI arrested 33-year-old Yuqing Zhang for allegedly smuggling in a fungus called Fusarium graminearum, which could be used as an agro-terrorism weapon. The gases from the fungus could cause liver damage, vomiting, and reproductive defects in humans and livestock. DOJ officials say Zhang has direct ties to the Chinese Communist Party, and she works at the University of Michigan, and her boyfriend is connected to a university back in China. FBI Director Kash Patel, in an exclusive statement to Fox Digital, says this case is a sobering reminder that the Chinese Communist Party continues to deploy operatives and researchers to infiltrate our institutions and target our food supply, an act that could cripple our economy and endanger American lives. Smuggling a known agro-terrorism agent into the U.S. is not just a violation of law, it's a direct threat to national security. I commend the FBI Detroit Division and our partners at CPB for stopping this biological threat before it could do real damage. Now, senior DOJ leaders, Laura, are debating whether to bring back the so-called China Initiative, a controversial program during the Bill Barr Justice Department that aimed to stop Chinese espionage that began in American universities. The DOJ under Merrick Garland got rid of the name after groups came forward and complained it was insensitive, but I'm told the current Attorney General Pam Bondi and her team want to focus on China, though it's unclear if they'll bring the China Initiative name back.
Gravest national security concerns. That's government speak for we're under attack. The fungus causes billions in crop damage globally and would cripple our economy if released. Here is a picture of the alleged individual. Take a look at this photograph. I've got it here on the screen. I think I did. Here, Brian, 1 second. Bring that up. Pull. Here it is. My bad. Is it shown? I'm on the stream deck here. I'm pressing the button. Try that. There it is. This is the photograph from the New York Post. Yeah. There she is, and there is the fungus. Okay, so let's talk about Fusarium graminearum and what it actually does. This isn't theoretical. This is what would happen to America's breadbasket if these weapons were deployed. You can bring up that tweet now, Brian, full screen. I can read it. Chinese nationals charged in smuggling agro-terrorism weapon into the United States. And let's see, here it is. And these two aliens have been charged with smuggling a fungus that has been described as a potential agro-terrorism weapon into the heartland of America, where they apparently intended to use the University of Michigan laboratory to further their scheme. So the pathogen causes head blight in wheat, barley, corn, and rice. Those aren't random crops. They are the foundation of the American food supply. Every loaf of bread, every beer, every bowl of cereal, every grain-fed piece of meat, all vulnerable to this weapon. Now, the toxins produced don't just kill plants. When consumed by humans or livestock, they cause immediate vomiting, permanent liver damage, and reproductive defects that can span generations. This is genetic warfare designed to poison our children's children. FBI Director Kash Patel's statement cuts through the diplomatic doublespeak. He said the CCP continues to deploy operatives and researchers to infiltrate our institutions and target our food supply, an act that could cripple our economy and endanger American lives. So think about the timing. As Trump prepares to confront China on trade, as America rebuilds its manufacturing base, as we decouple from Beijing's supply chains, suddenly Chinese operatives are caught with biological weapons targeting our agricultural independence. The University of Michigan's response is pathetic. They strongly condemn any actions that seek to cause harm. That's like saying you strongly condemn bank robbery while hosting the robbers into your vault. How many more Chinese researchers are embedded in American universities right now? Think Harvard, right? Yeah, it connects directly to the massive Chinese land purchases near U.S. military installations. They're not just buying farms, they're positioning biological warfare assets next to our food production and defense infrastructure. It's infiltration designed and disguised as investment. Now, the suspect claimed ignorance, saying that he didn't know how the fungus got into the luggage. And he confessed he smuggled it in to conduct research with his CCP-funded girlfriend. This is how biological warfare begins, not with mushroom clouds, but with microscopic slides. Former Attorney General Bill Barr warned about this exact scenario with his China initiative, a program that Biden's DOJ killed for being insensitive. Now we're catching biological weapons at our borders while, Democrats worry about hurt feelings. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. Here we go. This is Pearl Harbor in a petri dish. While you're watching football and grilling burgers, the Chinese Communist Party is weaponizing fungus to destroy those burgers at the source. They're not targeting our missiles or our cities. They're targeting our wheat fields and corn crops because they know hungry people don't fight back. One CCP agent with a vial could trigger famine that makes the Great Depression look like a picnic. And the bioweapon, where was it heading? The University of Michigan, your tax dollars funding China's agricultural warfare program. Every university taking Chinese money, such as Harvard as well. Every farm sold to Beijing, every visa overstay ignored. It's all part of the same attack. So here is your wake-up call. And I want to get your thoughts on this in the comments. Should we immediately ban all Chinese nationals from American agricultural research? Sound off, yes or no, below. And prepare your family. Grab your Next News gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.